Hello, it's time for Trial to Track. I'm Tom Hanlock, joined by Glenn Ingram. A massive week of trials. Glenn, as I welcome you in, the stars are back, the sun's shining, spring is in the air, as they say.
Mate, spring comes early, hasn't it, Tom? It's all happening at the moment. Great to be with you. Yeah, as we look out the window, the sun's beaming in and tracks are firming up, and it's a bit unusual for this time of year.
It's good, yeah. Sydney, tracks are very firm in Sydney. It's actually been quite hard to make ground because of that. And we were at Rosehill Saturday on a firmish track for a winter track, and expecting the track to be probably hard to make ground. We saw Kensington on Wednesday, leaders favoured again there, so it has been a bit tricky and not the normal. Glenn, question without notice, trialfiles.com.au, the trial reviews are up. We had a set at Cranbourne. Anything catch your eye there that you want to make mention of?
Yeah, high emotion, Tom. Like to get your thoughts on her. What do you think?
Going well. She is. She was very good through the line. I like what she did. It was the second trial back, Glenn. First trial was at Wyong, and then she went to Warwick Farm and went very well. So it was at Randwick, wasn't it? The second trial went well. Ran through the line. You can read it all on the trialfiles.com.au. Anything catch your eye at Cranbourne? I've got a couple that I want to follow.
Yeah, from Cranbourne?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Not from me, no. Mine, I'm keen to follow a couple from Randwick and Canterbury. I haven't done the Cranbourne set, mate. Leave that to you.
Oh, right. I thought you might have done for me. They're just trickling back through at the moment. Gold Trip we saw jump out. A little bit lackluster, really. Probably want to see more from him. There's a couple other good ones. I think Mick Kent's got a couple of mares that are going to step out well in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I think we're going to see a better set this week than we did last week, at least.
Nice. I was taken with the Melbourne Cup import Huya Mal. Finished off quite nicely in a trial at Randwick. Who else did I like? Ningaloo Star, who runs on Saturday. Miss Coover. At Canterbury, Carazana's a nice 3-year-old gelding, new season 3-year-old that looks set to run well on debut there. Kandinsky Abstract caught the eye again. This is a horse that won really well on debut and caught a lot of people's attention, so ticking over very nicely. White Marlin, I thought, was really good, and the new Waller horse, Extremely Lucky, showed her turn of foot. So Extremely Lucky went very nicely there. Glenn, Rosehill and Flemington this Saturday. I've also had a look at Coffs Harbour, which I know recommended bets there. There's a horse that I want to touch on in the first. No jockey on. They were meant to run Thursday, scratch from Thursday. They might book a jockey, Bjorn Baker. Rockabilly Rebel in race 1 was disappointing last start. Good first up. Can bounce back here. Rockabilly Rebel. Pretty tough day in the Cup. I found it very hard. Bon Cassie's a good chance in the sprint in race 6, number 6, the Coffs Harbour Cup. It's the Big Dance eligibility, Glenn. The race you are very fond of, the Big Dance. Good race. I've got no idea there. Incredibly hard race. But let's get us some winners, hey?
Yeah, let's do it. We're going to kick off at Rosehill.
We are. And just as we're filming this Thursday morning, I see that the favourites come out of this. So I've adjusted the graphic here. I'm talking about Ningaloo Star, Glenn. Midway handicap, 1,100 metres. Ningaloo Star's trialled up enormously. You would have read the trial review on the trialfiles.com.au. This horse is going really well. Might not be the right race. You might want further, but Jessica Collette on board, draw it inside. The favourite come out dancing alone. So you're getting $19 each way, Ningaloo Star. I love their trial on the outside the other day. I think she's ready to go really well, and she's won at 1,200 metres in the past last campaign. She might be better over further, but that gives me a bit of confidence here. First up, she can run well with even luck. No doubt Collette will hunt the fence, Glenn, and we'll just need breaks at the right time.
You nearly got through without clipping Jason Collette, didn't you?
I can't catch him. Who's your jockey? Who's your jockey?
You can't copy him at all, can you?
I just can't catch him. Every time I don't like him, he comes out and beats me. And every time I like him, he gets held up. There's been a few jockeys.
Damien Oliver, for me, Tom, is the world's greatest jockey, and I've never found him. I did once when he rode Northerly, which was my favourite horse. But
Northerly was my favourite as well. There you go.
All right, let's move on. Race 7 at Rosehill, Tom. You got one for us?
Yeah. Now by this time of the day, we'll know they've got 2 shoot races prior to this. so we'll know what the track's doing. It might be up and in again at Rosehill, rail and true. But if the track's fair, I want to have something for Jetta Sand. Now, this horse comes back gelded and trialled impressively here. We've got Brudenell and Tom Boogie, both airborne, both flying. I think Brudenell was harshly judged last start. I thought he went all right there. He still runs second. A lot of people were potting on the back of that. But I thought he went well. Time to Boogie's airborne as well. Won his last two. Big margins leading throughout. Stays at 57.5, but rises in grade. So, interesting race. I don't know what the jockeys do here. Brudenell might kick up and make Time to Boogie work. And if they add a bit of pressure and the track's playing well, I wouldn't be surprised if Fujita Sand runs over the top of them. That's what I'm praying for. $6.50. I'm going to wait and bet late. Make sure I said the 2 shoot races, see how the track's playing, Glenn. And that's my biggest advice. Maybe in the future when we get this chat group up, this is the benefit of that, but we will look to tweet out about the track. If the track is fair, take Fujita Sand each way, race 7, number 8. Love the trial leading in. Nice horse on his day, been a bit disappointing, but the gelding operation will switch him on. So that's my play there. Race 7, number 8, Fujita Sand.
Is that a recent gelding operation for Fujita Sand?
Yeah, before this campaign. Yeah.
Okay, yep.
Looked a different horse at the trials.
He's always been good at the trials, and hopefully he can stand up on race day. Does that see you? Now we've got one more, race 8.
Yeah, just on that, Glenn. Legio 10, I think, is the weak link in the market in race 7. I know J-Mac's on, but open at $3.40, out to $3.90 as well. It should be $5 or $6, and I think it will get to $6, just the J-Mac tax early. So that's adding a bit of value there for Fujita Sand. As you mentioned, race 8. Now, what a race this is, the Group 2. We said springs in the air. This is a fascinating race. We've got Big Parade first up in a very, very long time. Comes out and wins a trial by 20 lengths, Glenn. Ran incredibly fast. 2 blistering trials leading.
That trial, yeah.
Off a long break. Then you've got I Am Me, who don't trial much better than I Am Me, who was really strong through the line. Both horses, really interesting setups. I Am Me coming through a Group 1. High rating race, but there wasn't a lot of data because that was at Sandown with the rail position moved, the finishing post moved. So there wasn't a lot of data there. But Big Parade, I'm with him here, Glenn. I just think Joe Pride has a great record with these horses. I think he's come back in really good order. His best form is good enough. He ran second in a Group 1 Galaxy, and that's pretty good form. We won't talk about the horse that beat him, he's looked legal since, but incredible performance by that. But Big Parade, a consistent horse, high-class gallop on his day. He'll lead here. The fact I'm worried about is I and Me might just get to sit on him and the pressure. But Big Parade walloped We Will Rock in that barrier trial, and We Will Rock had race fitness, and I'm happy to be with We Will Rock. I've got to tip something in the race. Golden Mile trialled up okay the other day. McDonald On's interesting. Ingratiating is fit off a win, but Big Parade for me, not a lot of confidence. I think one of the 2 first uppers will win.
Ingratiating's now in that race. I think he might have been scratched from Flemington.
Yeah, right. Yeah, stablemate, obviously off a win. He has the advantage of the race fitness, Glenn, and that's the positive, especially if they overdo it out in front, because you do have a couple of speedsters. I think Big Parade's fast enough to roll forward, fly in the front. I and Me settle on his back, and We Will Rock somewhere nearby. I hope they've got the best 2 front-running jockeys in Australia, if not Sydney, if not Australia, Josh Parr and Tim Clark. So I don't think they'll go too hard. I think they'll control the race and say best man wins. But I think it'll be Big Parade.
All right, we'll get to Flemington, mate. It's going to be nice there at Flemington after a 19-degree day here today. Track's currently soft 5. That'll probably improve. Race 1, River Noir, is a horse we've been talking a fair bit about on the trials, and the stable gave away a 3-year-old listed race in Adelaide last week where they were nominated to sort of hold it back and race it here as a 4-year-old mare. So not sure what the reasoning was there. They probably could have picked up some black type there. Obviously, Lapete, was it your Clip Brown?
The Dunces Rouge won that really nicely. That was the Godolphin favourite, came out of the barriers, which was interesting. So yeah, that's an interesting point there regarding River Noir, why they've chosen to elect here. Might have just come up too soon. The travel factor, who knows?
Yeah, and you don't know what she's like. She might be hot. Maybe didn't want to get on the float. But anyway, she's coming to Flemington where she's run well behind the stablemate. She dances, and she's drawn midfield. A lot of the speed's back to the inside with Smile and Wave, etc. But she'll be probably on her own up midfield, and from the midfield draw, she'll be on her own out in the middle of the track. But she looks pretty well placed to resume a winner.
There you go. Race 1, number 8, River Noir. We head to race 8, number 14, Presser.
Yeah, he's a really improving horse. He's building good profile now. Lightly raced. He's a 5-year-old. He's only had the 6 starts, but she was good at Sandown last week, Tom, in the midweeks. I know it was midweeks and benchmark 70 grade, but put him to the sword pretty quickly in that race. He's rising in grade, but gets down on the minimum here. And I think if he can hold a spot early in the race at Flemington on Saturday, there's going to be a lot of speed here with King Cougar going forward with Craig Williams. So he's got a nice turn of foot, and I think he can win. He's probably a little bit short around that $4.80. I think we'll get a better price on the jump.
There you go. That's race 8, number 14, Presser there. We might get better value. The horse that everyone's talking about, and probably the classiest runner on the day, resuming here. Fascinating setup, Glenn. We're talking about race 10, number 2, Benedetta.
Yeah, look, obviously she's the star attraction, isn't she, on the 10-race card? And she'll be holding the hopes of quaddie punters late in the day. But look, she's really conservatively placed. She's just had the one jump out, Tommy, which was a beauty down at Mornington. And it's weird that they've used the claiming apprentice here, Tatum Bull, trying to take 3 kilos off. I just wonder why, running her in benchmark grade, why you would opt for the apprentice. We've got the prospect of a full field, and she's not going to be leading. So my worry is there might be a bit of traffic, Tom, and she's going to have to do a bit of work to get through. But so I wouldn't be taking a real short quote, but she's obviously the likely winner with any favours. Couple of odds that I want to put in the multiples. 13, William Thomas. Look, you can always be a little bit slow away, but he's been back to the jump out since. He'll run well at big odds. And number 10, Jakovitz, fit and in form. So there's a couple there for the multiples. But Benedetta, I think, will win, but I wouldn't be taking a real short quote.
Yeah, interesting to see what the market does there with the jockey. They might take it on late, especially if it's hard to make ground, and what the wind's doing down the Flemington Straight there. That's a fascinating point you make regarding an apprentice that might need a bit of luck. William Thomas continues to run well, as you mentioned. Doesn't win very often, but he loves a straight track. He's a favourite of mine, obviously, the same name. So I'll keep an eye out for him. My middle name's William, so there you go, Glenn.
All right, well, this horse is slow out and doesn't win a lot, Tom, but you're better than that, aren't you?
I'm not really. No, that sums me up. Don't win a lot. Been a pleasure, mate. It's been a pretty average few days. Trial files. We've started the financial year off okay, so we'll look to build on that. Hopefully a few winners. Tough day on Saturday, but I'm pretty confident we can get a couple of results there, Glenn. Thank you for joining me.